Tonight, tracking the progress on the journey of truth and reconciliation. Cross-country commemorations.
They wanted to kill the Indian and the child.
And confronting a painful past while finding a way forward.
We still have much work to do, but I feel increasingly hopeful.
Israel launches a ground invasion into Lebanon as Canada secures plane seats to help desperate citizens escape. The rising death toll and devastating destruction from Hurricane Helene. Plus, how efforts to stop a perilous pathway could force migrants to take riskier routes.
I think there will be many more deaths.
And saying goodbye to a towering figure in basketball.
He made us who we are.
The legacy of Dikembe Mutombo, built on and off the court.
That guy's a giant.
CTV National News with Omar Sachedina.
Good evening, everyone. Powerful and emotional ceremonies across the country today on this National Day for Truth and Reconciliation. Thousands gathered at a ceremony in Ottawa. An estimated 6,000 children died in residential schools, and more than 150,000 Indigenous children were forced to attend. Among them, Jackie Pizendawatch, stripped of her language, culture, and dignity.
According to them, we were dirty Indians. They cut our hair. They threw us in the bathtub because wash the Indianness out of us, scrubbing us. It didn't work. They wanted to kill the Indian and the child.
In cities from coast to coast, reflections on a dark legacy and how to find a path forward. CTV's Adrian Gobriel leads us off tonight with the report card on reconciliation.
Residential school survivor Chief Harvey McLeod remembers the day the Truth and Reconciliation Commission released its final report in 2015, outlining 94 calls to action.
Here I seen a paper and a document and a process with recommendations that said this is how we're going to work with you.
Jonathan Hamilton Daibo, the grandson of a residential school survivor, remembers the day as well.
There was this aspect of, finally, people know.
For Daibo, it was a national acknowledgement that what his grandfather experienced at the Carlisle Indian School in Pennsylvania wasn't an isolated incident south of the border. For McLeod, it was a step towards healing. Though the Assembly of First Nations are urging the Government of Canada to advance progress towards fully implementing the calls to action.
Our numbers indicate that 80% of those that are either in the exclusive jurisdiction of the federal government or shared responsibility are in progress.
Many Indigenous peoples and survivors, when they hear the government saying, oh, we're working on it, oh, it's in process, they know what that means. They know it means that nothing is happening.
The federal Liberals say that through their work, 132 First Nation communities have had their boil water advisories lifted, though approximately 30 still don't have clean drinking water. In a first world country, some are still enduring third world conditions.
I can't imagine any mainstream Canadian town or village being without water for 20 years. That has occurred in this country for First Nation.
Where would you rate where we are today with the 94 recommendations?
Reconciliation is not this finish line. And I think people are looking for this final check mark to say, we're done, the race is done, who's important in this? The survivors. This is a big part of what we have to keep thinking about.
One call to action is for all levels of government to work together to collect the copies of all records relevant to the history and legacy of the residential school system. That has yet to be fulfilled for survivors like Chief Harvey McLeod.
It took me a long time to reconcile with little Harvey.
As a young boy, McLeod was sexually assaulted at the former Kamloops Indian Residential School, where as many as 215 potential unmarked burials of Indigenous children were discovered. For McLeod, the calls to action are a path to peace for the child he once was.
Now it's time that he rejoins with me and allow myself to be that little kid and be that little kid all over again.
For there to be true reconciliation, there must also be truth. And one truth shared by many we spoke with is they simply don't feel safe in the presence of police. The Assembly of First Nations says that in recent weeks, officers have allegedly been involved in the killing of 9 Indigenous individuals. Omar.
All right, Adrian, thank you. Escalating tensions in the Middle East tonight. Israel's military says it has started what it calls a limited ground operation into Lebanon, targeting Hezbollah, and says it will be, quote, limited, but no word on how long the operation will last. CTV's Kamel Karmali with more and the urgent push to get Canadians out.
A rare Israeli strike into the heart of Lebanon's capital Monday, the first in nearly 20 years. Then, early Tuesday, a ball of fire near Beirut's airport. While Israel continued attacks from above, much of the focus today was on the ground. Israeli special forces launching probing missions in southern Lebanon.
There is nowhere that Israel will not reach.
Strongly hinting at a ground offensive Monday, drawing the ire of its allies.
And I'm comfortable with them stopping. We should have a ceasefire now.
Israeli tanks instead moving in large numbers in the north, while Lebanese troops pulled back from the southern border with Israel.
They may feel confident that they have the upper hand and they want to press their advantage.
But the militant group Hezbollah says it's ready for an Israeli ground invasion. And it'll emerge victorious, even though severely weakened after Israeli strikes Friday took out Hezbollah's towering leader, Hassan Nasrallah. New images show the massive crater left behind from the U.S.-made bombs. The strikes after a relentless 2-week campaign have left several Hezbollah commanders dead, but have also killed about 1,000 civilians and forced 1 million people to flee their homes, according to the Lebanese health ministry. Iran has vowed revenge, its president meeting Russian officials today, but a warning from Israel's prime minister.
There's nowhere we will not go to protect our people and protect our country.
With the backdrop of a potential all-out war breaking out in the Middle East, Canada's Minister of Foreign Affairs addressed the UN today.
Canada is joining those urging Israel and Hezbollah to accept an immediate ceasefire. We need to create space for peace talks and save lives.
While pressure mounts to assist the tens of thousands of Canadians still stranded in Lebanon, the Foreign Affairs Minister has now announced 800 airline seats available to Canadians who want to leave the country in the next 3 days. Omar.
All right, Kamel, thank you. Back on this side of the world, there's a grim new picture tonight of Hurricane Helene's catastrophic and punishing path. New images have emerged showing the scope of the devastation as the death toll rises. CTV's Washington Bureau Chief Joy Malbin reports.
In North Carolina, unimaginable destruction. Lake Lure is clogged with a mountain of debris, what's left of boats and people's homes washed away. The roads are impassable or have collapsed, cutting off entire communities.
It really feels like, a post-apocalyptic scene. Roads blocked, multiple trees down on one road. The power lines looks like, spaghetti.
After the hurricane slammed into Florida traveling inland, it unleashed historic flooding and mudslides in the Carolinas.
My car's gone.
I'm okay. It's okay.
Everything's gone.
The hurricane merged with another storm system, dumping more water than anyone here has ever seen.
It's a total mess. People have been swept away. Business have been ruined. Lives have been lost. It's absolutely insane, to be honest.
Oh my God.
The largest city, Asheville, a tourist hub, was hit hard. Officials are airlifting in emergency supplies. People are in desperate need of drinking water, food, fuel, and millions are without power. Families in agony as hundreds of people are still unaccounted for. Search and rescue teams and National Guard troops have not stopped.
It's just really horrifying. It's sad because there's still people there that are really hard to get to.
Touring Georgia's storm damage, Donald Trump attacked the Biden administration, claiming Kamala Harris and the president are ignoring Republican states.
Let me get this straight. He's lying. And the governor told him he was lying. He implies that we're not doing everything possible. We are.
Marshalling every federal resource, FEMA is already on the ground along with aid groups bringing in supplies. The president and Harris plan to travel to the disaster zone, but it will take months, even years, Omar, to recover from this devastation.
All right, Joy, thank you. Around 45,000 dock workers in the U.S. are set to strike at midnight, threatening to shut down ports across the East and Gulf coasts indefinitely. It could become the most disruptive strike to the U.S. economy in decades. Many goods like food and cars are shipped through the ports. A hit to the supply chain could mean higher prices for consumers approaching the holiday season. And dock workers in Montreal launched a 3-day strike today, shutting down 2 terminals that handle 40% of the port's container traffic. Montreal's port is the second largest in Canada. A key issue in both disputes: wages. Drowning in debt, more Canadians are watching their cost of living climb while depending on credit cards to survive. And as CTV's Colton Prale tells us, there are new warnings from the Bank of Canada.
John Reddens considers himself lucky. His apartment is rent-controlled. Still, on the first of every month, that payment wipes nearly his entire monthly income.
About 3/4 of it, I would say, it's taken. And then we have to decide what do we want.
It means purchasing those essentials with money he doesn't have.
We're using sometimes our credit card for food purchases.
But Reddens isn't alone in turning to credit cards. With less equity to access, so many renters are using credit that the Bank of Canada is starting to worry.
And this share is now above typical historical levels. This is concerning.
The percentage of renters carrying credit card debt of at least 80% of their borrowing limit has jumped from less than 1 in 5 in 2020 to nearly 1 in 4. And climbing.
The stress that this is causing is actually leading to declines in consumer spending on a per-person basis. So this is very recession-like.
Across the country, rent prices are up nearly 6% year over year, with the average one-bedroom unit costing an extra $400 per month compared to 2020. Increasing the housing supply is a long-term solution, and experts say reducing immigration will help slow price increases short-term. But creating real affordability is still a long way off.
Combined with some modest and challenging supply environments, that is going to be a problem we'll see for the next 5-10 years.
Consumer credit card debt hit $122 billion this year in Q2, the highest it's been since 2007. According to Equifax, it's millennials and younger Canadians who are having the hardest time paying their bills. Colton Prale, CTV News, Ottawa.
Coming up, one country's plan to seal off one of the world's most dangerous migrant routes. We are kicking off our new W5 investigative unit tonight with a look at how one country is trying to shut down one of the world's most dangerous migrant routes and what it means for those risking their lives for a better future. Here's W5's Avery Haynes.
The Darien Gap, an unforgiving jungle that connects Colombia to Panama. One of the most physically challenging and dangerous migrant routes in the world. And now there's a move to shut it down.
I won't allow Panama to be an open path for people who enter our country illegally.
Panama's new president, Jose Raul Molino, was elected in July on a promise to close the gap. And coils of barbed wire now block 5 of the 6 known jungle routes. There are also these. Deportation planes. Migrants may have an American dream, but the U.S. doesn't want them and is paying Panama $6 million a year to send them home. 7 plane loads of migrants have been deported in the last 3 months. Shackled, they're put on flights back to Colombia, Ecuador. This plane is filled with Indian nationals. It's triggered a 35% drop in the numbers crossing the gap, but still a staggering 250,000 people have traversed the jungle so far this year. And that's because Panama doesn't control the entrance to the Darien. It's in Colombia and ruled by that country's most powerful and feared cartel, the Gulf Clan. Oh, there's a light up ahead. There he is. In W5's documentary Narco Jungle, we landed a rare interview with a cartel leader who bragged that their human smuggling business generates hundreds of millions of dollars a year.
Everything that moves has to pay a tax. It's a business that is helping us. And we help them reach their American dream.
And so despite Panama's crackdown, Colombian smugglers are still shepherding migrants into the wild, even advertising on social media. Don't believe the jungle is closed, he says. It's a lie. That's false.
I think the phenomenon of migration is not going to stop. Even if they put a lot of pressure, the need is quite great.
Humanitarian workers like Anahi Selam warn the Gulf Clan cartel will just use more dangerous routes to circumvent the jungle.
They are going to just go around it and come by sea. It will be more terrible. I think there will be many more deaths.
The sea route is more expensive but not safer. The Gulf Clan has been known to abandon ship, leaving migrants in a watery grave. Earlier this year, we trekked the Darien Gap. Over 6 days, we waded through deep waters, over massive boulders and scaled steep rocks, documenting the plight of 3 families from Venezuela, including these 2 young cousins who got separated from their family. Emerging from the jungle, they all thought the worst was behind them. They couldn't have been more wrong. The real nightmare was about to begin.
And W5 Investigative Unit's managing editor and senior correspondent Avery Haynes joins us now. Fascinating reporting. And you ended that story on a bit of a cliffhanger. Tell us about what we can expect in tomorrow's piece.
Well, my search for those girls and for the other family members I met in the Darien led me clear across the entire U.S.-Mexico border. I was harassed by cartels. I landed an interview with a human smuggler. And tomorrow night, you're going to join me as I jump on top of Mexico's notorious migrant train, which is called the Beast, or the Train of Death.
Riveting. We will watch for that, Avery. Thank you so much for this tonight. Coming up, tributes to one of the greats of the game, morning basketball Hall of Famer Dikembe Mutombo. A global giant of basketball has died of brain cancer. Born in the Democratic Republic of Congo, Dikembe Mutombo's indelible impact on the court is only a small part of his life story. His humanitarian work also made him a giant off the court, building a special bond with a big name connected to Canada's NBA team. Here's CTV's Kathy Lee.
Mutombo's in. A formidable presence and defensive force under the basket, Dikembe Mutombo was renowned for his shot-blocking ability and his signature finger wave, iconic in the NBA. The 7'2" center earned numerous accolades during his 18 NBA seasons, including a Hall of Fame induction.
When you consider just the size of him and how physical his game was, that's sort of nothing short of incredible itself.
What's more incredible, Mutombo's work off the court. The NBA's first global ambassador, devoting his retirement to charitable and humanitarian causes, including a $29 million hospital he built in the capital city of his home country. The star's passing from brain cancer, a huge loss not just for the basketball world.
I went to Dikembe Mutombo's hometown with him. I went to his hospital. You have no idea what that guy means to the world. Everything you see as big as he is, his heart was bigger. Yeah, today is not a good day. Not a good day for sports, for us. For us in Africa, it's not a good day at all.
Mutombo's family revealed 2 years ago he was undergoing treatment for a brain tumor. A social media post from his son Ryan reads, "My dad is my hero because he simply cared. He remains the purest heart I have ever known."
My condolences and well wishes goes to his family. Also goes to the NBA community as well.
In a statement, NBA Commissioner Adam Silver said Dikembe's indomitable spirit continues on in those he helped and inspired through his extraordinary life. Mutombo died surrounded by his family. He was 58. Kathy Lee, CTV News, Calgary.
A baseball legend who earned glory and shame, Pete Rose, has died. Rose is Major League Baseball's all-time hits leader, but was kept out of the Hall of Fame because he was banned for life after being caught betting on baseball games. Rose was 83. After the break, planting new roots on the journey of truth and reconciliation. Courageous survivors now have a symbolic place of healing. An Indigenous spirit garden is helping to shed light on a dark past. Here's CTV's Donna Sound.
This spirit garden at Nathan Phillips Square in the heart of Toronto was created to heal the hearts of residential school survivors.
What you see here, we never had.
The tears go deep.
I'm just grateful for my grandchildren. They're able to go to school and learn their culture.
This legacy gathering is to honor them. And so is the National Day for Truth and Reconciliation.
It's for everybody to learn.
This is the City of Toronto's way of answering the call to action.
There is a deficit of Indigenous placemaking in this city.
Andrea Christron made it her mission to get the permanent spirit garden completed and shares how she did it.
Family who were limited in their voice, but teaching us, to use your voice, to stand up for what you believe in.
Last week in Ottawa, an MP stood up in the House of Commons and tabled a private member's bill to add residential school denialism to the Criminal Code of Canada.
If passed, this bill would add to the Criminal Code the offence of willfully promoting hatred against Indigenous peoples by condoning, denying, justifying, or downplaying the harm caused by the residential school system in Canada.
Back in Toronto, organizers are hoping the Spirit Garden will help honor and remember the children of what was once known as Canada's dirty little secret.
I honestly didn't know what happened to the children in the schools and all that stuff. I didn't know that till it hit the news quite some time ago, and really sad to me. It's disgusting, actually.
Shedding light on our dark past with hopes of a brighter future. Donna Sound, CTV News, Toronto.
Keeping that history alive for the future. And speaking of the future, our very own Annie Bergeron Oliver became a new mom last week. Baby Oliver was born last Tuesday, weighing in at 9 pounds, 2 ounces. And on the baby cuteness scale, he is clearly off the charts. Congratulations to Annie and her husband, Connor. And that's a snapshot of this Monday for all of us at CTV National News. Thank you for watching, and see you tomorrow.